Let's give a round of welcome for Rick.
So, a lot to talk about in a short period of time. I'm sorry to move your Buddha guy there. You know, Chris, they always ask me, come up with something that's going to help these guys. And so, I try to customize it a little bit for you all, but it's all really the same, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what you do for a living. It's all the same principles that fall in play. You're dealing with people, it's consistency, it's constantly working on getting better. It's all the same stuff, really, no matter what you do for a living if you want to have greatness in your life, right? Well, the one thing I found out, lately I've really been focused on more and more is really cultivating change in my life. And, if I want to title this, I'm going to title this Trading Change. And for myself, I found that I got stagnant in places. I was staying in the same place. I felt like I was working harder sometimes. I felt like I was working longer, and nothing was changing. In fact, sometimes you felt like it was going backwards. Has anybody ever been through that before? Felt like you're working harder and not going anywhere? No? Did you ever see a hamster get on one of those little wheels and they run real hard? They run, and they get off. And they go, I've been here before. They run hard and they jump off in the same spot. So why is that? What happens? I think it happens to a lot of people. We run really hard, and we jump off and we're in the same spot. We're looking around, what's going on? One is no plan. We really don't know why we're working harder, where we're putting our energy and time into working hard, where it's really going, or what it's going to get us. We just keep doing it without thought, right? So you can work real hard, but if you're not working really smart with it, you might find yourself every month jumping off the same place. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
See, I found something that was kind of tough for me to do. And this was one of the hardest things. See, especially for a man. See, our egos get in the way, so we don't want to admit we have to change. My voice is like this because I videotaped all day today, so excuse me. But we don't want to admit that we have to change. We don't want to say that we're maybe weak, that we have weaknesses that need to be fixed. So I usually found that men have a bigger problem with saying they need to change. Women seem to say it easier, that they need to change, but they also have a trap mechanism where they look at their husband and say, don't you think I need to change, honey? Don't answer her. It's a trap. Because if you say yes, you're dead. But I did find this harder for men. And so what I found I had to do is I had to humble myself with myself. I had to get out of my own way. I had to get my ego out of the way. I had to quit trying to impress myself and others. I had to quit playing what I call, the best way I can say it, mental masturbation with myself. I had to quit playing games with myself and be honest. This is who I am. This is really what I'm doing. And this is why I'm getting the results that I'm getting. You know what most people don't know? That they are 100% successful at everything they've ever done. Because you're doing it to the ability of what you know. Do you understand what I just said there?
Yeah.
So I realized to get different results, I had to start doing something different for it to change. So that's really old, really cliche. But man, it's so true. I realized that I had to shed old things off me that were holding me back, old ways, and start paying attention to how I can create new things to create newer and better results. So, some of you come in here every day, I'm going to put in your terms real quick, and you get on the phone every day, you start the same way, you say the same thing, you sit in the chair the same way, and you attack the phone the same way, hoping you get some good calls today. Some people that agree with you, listen to you, yes or no?
Yes.
And it doesn't work out, oh, bad day. I'll go try that again tomorrow. Same way. Hoping something changes. Hope we get some good calls. Hope they're nice today. Hope they get that guy saying, hell, I forgot about that $5,000. Can I give it to you right now? Okay. So what I found out is this, right? We got to constantly work on getting better. Constantly work on ourselves, humble ourselves and say, I need to change. Because if you don't admit that you can get better, you're never going to get better. You're always going to stay where you're already at. Are you with me? Is this all making sense so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now get this, right? You need to track yourself. Start creating new ways of doing it. Come in, have a notepad out, and have a plan. I'm going to try this call this way. I'm going to try the call this way. I'm going to try the call this way. And start tracking which ones are getting you the best results. Start tracking which ones are getting you the most ground with your customers. Start paying attention to what you're doing. Don't just wing it and hope it works. Pay attention to what works and how it works and get better at what is working. Does that make sense?
Yes.
See, most of us just come in life. They want to get better in business. They want to have more sales. Drives me crazy, you guys. I meet sales guys. I go to people, they want me to train them. And I look at them and I'll say, hey, let me ask you a question. Tell me about the last downloads you listened to on closing and building rapport and about the art of persuasion and things that make people think your way. Tell me about it. Tell me what you listen to. I want to see where you're going, where your path is. Oh, well, I haven't listened to them in a long time. But I did listen to that one book. I did watch that one show on it, and they wonder why they're staying in the same place. Why are they staying in the same place? Does anybody?
Doing the same thing.
Because their information isn't changing. If your information's not changing, you can't change. If your information's not changing here, you can't change. So I'm going to revert back now real quick, or go backwards for a minute. See, I decided a long time ago that I'm going to wake up thinking. There's a concept. Wake up thinking. Oh, is that possible? We all wake up, yes or no?
Yes.
Well, we're lucky. Perspective, there's a bunch of people who didn't last night. Got killed in a car accident, died of cancer, heart disease, overseas. A bunch of people didn't hear their alarm this morning. So, good start. You heard your alarm or you got to get up. But when you wake up, we all wake up. What's going across your mind? What are you thinking about? You know what, dude? Some people go to work thinking about what time you're going to go to bed. And like there's a guarantee of another day. You know what? This morning, you'll never get that morning back again as long as you live. It's gone forever. Every day we blow off is a day you'll never see again the rest of your life. Right? So, understand this. When you wake up in the morning, I made a conscious decision to wake up thinking. Chris asked me, we're sitting at lunch today, and he said, we're taking a break from the filming, and he goes, Rick, tell me what you got this takeaway from Tony Robbins, we all went to, and he goes, it's the second time I've been there, Chris, the second time. He goes, what was your takeaway? I said, well, I became actually more aware than I already was. I already was very aware when I woke up, but I became even more aware. I hybrided it, of being aware, right? Because I learned a long time ago that thinking is an action. Because what I think about is what I talk about, it's what I do, it's how I perform, it's my everything. My thoughts control my whole destiny. So I realize that every morning I wake up, I have to start out thinking in the way I want my day to go. Are y'all with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
What most people wake up, they spend their first 10, 15 minutes doing what? Come on, doing what?
Shake the cobwebs off.
Yeah.
Snooze, but nothing.
Taking a shit.
Hitting the snooze button.
What's that?
Hitting the snooze button.
Yeah, well, and they wake up, I gotta go to work, this sucks, this is Wednesday. God, I hope so, I get some good calls today. And you show up. You know what's crazy is that I always told people if I gave you a hammer, and it's the first time I taught you how to use one, and you swung it and you smashed your thumb and split your thumb open, and then you swung it the same way again and hit your thumb again and busted open even worse. You swung it again, bust your thumb open and hurt it even worse. How many times are you gonna keep swinging the hammer, smashing your thumb before you say, wait a minute, I gotta change the way I'm swinging this thing? When do you say enough's enough? When do you say that I'm going to change what I'm doing? When do you say that I'm not going to settle for anymore? When do you say that I'm not going to settle for mediocrity anymore or average anymore? I got to figure out what I have to learn to become great. I got to figure out what I have to change, what I have to get rid of, what I have to bring in new to have greatness in my life. Does it happen overnight for some people? Yes. Does it happen to take a long time for somebody? Yes. But man, you know what? At least as long as you're striving for it constantly and one day you hit it, it's better than never hitting it, always wishing and hoping you would. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? So I wake up thinking, I want to share something with you. This might sound weird. I don't want to get weird on you, but it's the truth. I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is I'm grateful. First, everything, man. I think about everything I'm grateful for. I think of my beautiful daughter, my son, my wife, how lucky I am that I have a home, how lucky my feet work, my eyes work. You know, people used to joke at me when I say how happy I am my legs work when I wake up. They used to go, oh, well, I say, how's your morning? Oh, my legs work. I felt like saying, come here, Jackass, let me break them and show you how it feels. So here's the thing, right? Have you ever hurt yourself before? Have you ever hurt your leg? I got a hurt Achilles heel right now. Have you ever hurt something on your body, your legs? You ever, and it hurts to walk, right? And you say to yourself, you say, oh my God, I can't wait till this stops hurting to walk. It's going to be so great to be normal again. It's going to be so awesome. You ever done that before?
Yeah.
And the day comes, oh my gosh, it doesn't hurt anymore. Okay, life sucks again. You forget that fast. You forget that fast how grateful it is to have legs that don't hurt. Right? So I wake up grateful, man, I do. Wake up grateful. It brings a lot of happiness in me. See, I'm going to go to a lot of places here for a minute. I'm bouncing around just I got a short period of time. I want you to understand something, right? I'm not going to live this life not happy. I'm filming serious stuff today. I had the cameraman laughing, the actress that we hired laying on the floor laughing. Look, I'm going to have fun, man. I got one shot at this life, not two, not three, I got one. And if I'm not happy in my life, what's the point of this life anyhow? What do I need money for if I'm miserable, stressed out, crabby, and uptight? What is the point of money in that position? For what? Some people walk around stressed out, uptight, and pissed off at somebody their whole life, upset, resentful, and that's how they spend their whole life and they die. Whoa, let's do that one again. They don't even wake up realizing, this is my life, this is my only day. Right this moment, it's all I got. I'll never get yesterday again. I have no idea about tomorrow. I'll get this right now. They just blow through days like it's guaranteed. Right? So I wake up grateful. Wake up thinking. And then I gotta tell you a trick, guys. You guys maybe got notepads in here? Anybody got a notepad and pen? I want you to do something for me, please. I don't think I said this. I looked at my notes from last time I was here, and I don't remember talking about this with you guys. But I'm going to tell you something that I do every morning that has changed and put a huge impact on my life. Now, what I want you to do is, before you go to bed every night, write this down. Before you go to bed every night, I want you to write down everything you want to accomplish the next day. Write this down. I want you to write down everything you want to accomplish the next day. I want you to make a grocery list of everything you want to get done the next day. Every person you want to call, every person you forgot to call, any bill you forgot to write, anything that's on your mind that you want to tackle. I want you to write it down. And I'm going to get to work and be a successful worker in a minute, but this is all part of it. How you start the day. Right? I want you to write it down. Now, I want you to put it next to your bed every night before you go to sleep. You will sleep better than you ever have in your entire life when you start doing this. I promise you. Do you know what's so sad about life today? That the majority of people, not only are they stressed out all day long, they don't even sleep anymore. They wake up with their problems on their mind, stressed out in bed, miserable in bed. They're miserable in bed, they're miserable with their eyes open, so where the hell do you have to go? If I could just shake people and make them realize it. Misery and sadness and depression. I know there's chemical stuff out there, but it's all, most of it's all such a choice. I can make myself miserable right now. I can think about all the crap and stuff I have to get done in my life and get myself really stressed out right now if I chose to. I choose not to. I can think of all the things I'm grateful for and all the things I love and how happy I am with all the stuff I have and be really happy. I can choose what I focus on. Do you remember last time I was here, I taught that whatever you focus on, you bring more of to yourself? You focus on the crap in your life, you bring more crap. You focus on the good in your life, you bring in more good.
Yes.
You're a victim of what you pay attention to. If you're focused on your problems all the time, you're going to be miserable. You focus on your weaknesses and your flaws without thought of how to fix them, you're going to be miserable. Listen, okay? I promise you, you'll stop waking up when you start writing it down before you go to bed. It is the greatest thing I've ever done for myself in my whole life. It was the greatest gift I ever gave myself, was surgically removing it out of my brain and putting it on that piece of paper. It's like surgically removing the crap out of your head when you write it down. And then every once in a while, I do wake up. And I wake up and go, oh crap, I forgot about that. And I might turn on live TV for a minute, but I go back to sleep. I love that show. You may have so addicted to that damn show. Live TV. It's got that real crack on it or something. I can't get off it. Here's the whole thing. Now listen, okay? I wake up in the morning now. I have a goal and a plan. I have a plan. Think about waking up in the morning with a plan. What would that be like? Think of waking up in the morning being grateful. What would that be like? Think about waking up in the morning and reminding yourself how lucky you were you heard the alarm clock. What would that be like? You know what I learned, guys? I don't want to fit in. I don't want to be normal. I want to stand out and stick out. Because fitting in is not where I want to end up. I'm not here to live life for you to like me. I'm here to live life for me to like my life. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you think I'm weird because I get up in the morning and dance or whatever I do, that's cool. Think I'm weird. But I win, you lose. If you're still miserable. Do y'all understand that?
Yes.
So, grateful, wake up with a plan. Can I tell you something? You mind if I go back to that plan for 1 second? Always be honest with me. You carry burdens around with you. I don't know why we do this to ourselves, but we do. Has anybody got that one phone call or that one person or that one thing you're supposed to do and you keep putting it off? Yes or no?
Hell yeah.
And you got that thing you think, you know what, if I ignore it, it's going to go away. Please go away. Has anybody ever done that before? And what does it do? Doesn't go away. It just gets bigger. And then something nastier happens because you did ignore it and now you're in more trouble. You're like, why didn't I call 3 days ago? Now look what I got to do. Right? You're calling them damn people right now. Right? So what I've learned to take pressure off my life, to start days out good, to be highly successful, is, this might sound crazy, but watch what happens to your life when you change these little things. Change. I pick the thing that I regret, don't want to do the most, the thing I want to avoid, And I put that as number one. I'm going to do when I wake up in the morning. It's the first thing I'm going to do is get that done. I'm going to face it. And when you get that done, if you want to call it pride, whatever you want to call it, yourself that you have, and the peace that comes over you that I don't have to worry about that now, it's awesome. It empowers you. And you did it. Does that make sense or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Promise it does. It's gone. It's eliminated. Right? Now the rest of the day's a breeze, man. Instead, you know what people do? Come on, here's what they do. They do the easy stuff first. Come on, don't lie to me. You guys all call your easy customers first before you call your hard ones, don't you?
Yeah.
Come on. Trying to pick the low fruit. What if you knocked out the hard ones first, you scored a couple of them, what would the easy ones be like?
Even easier.
Yeah, like free, right? So, I get the hard stuff. If you leave the hard stuff for last, or you keep ignoring it, and you make that list I'm telling you to start making, and you leave it for last, it's gonna torture you all day long. It's on your list. That's why you get rid of it first. Wake up thinking. Wake up empowering yourself. Wake up planning on having a better life, a greater life. Wake up planning on having a happy life, an exciting life. Seriously, man. This is not BS. I grew up really in a rough place in my life. I was a mess. I was a lot of drugs, a lot of fights, lost a lot of friends. The guy's house I spent most of my teenage life is in prison for murder. In the living room I was always at doing drugs with him in. So I came from that to having a phenomenal life. And it was only because I changed the way I see things. I changed the way I do things. That's all. I just make changes. And sometimes it doesn't have to be huge changes. You know, I found out that the difference sometimes between someone who's doing good and great is the guy that's doing great is just doing a couple extra things the guy that's doing good is not willing to do. The guy that's doing phenomenal is just doing a couple extra things the guy that's doing great is not willing to do. See, it's a funny thing about life. And it's an old metaphor, old cliche, that you get what you put into it. It is so true, man. I used to hate hearing this crap. You know why I hated hearing it? Because I wasn't willing to pay the price yet. So if any of this stuff bothers you or you think it's a bunch of crap, it's probably because you're not willing to face the truth yet. But you are exactly where you are and who you are because of your choices. You do understand that?
Yes.
See, you can have all the reasons. If you sit there and butt me, excuse me, you don't understand, you don't get it, you know, we can all do that, man. So let's say someone was really horrible to you. Okay? If you're still walking around living that, using that for your excuse of why you're not doing well, well, you're never going to get well because you're still blaming somebody else and not taking responsibility for where you're at in your life right now. You gotta let go. So this conversation with Chris about some people we know. You gotta let go. I know a girl who her parents were just absolutely disgustingly horrible to her. She's been living with us for about 8 years now. And she got raped. And she walked around as a raped, abused girl. That's how we met her. And I go, tell me where that's getting you. How's that working out for you? She's miserable. Depressed, suicidal. That works out well. Yeah, let's kill ourselves now because of some idiot that raped you. Like, give him that satisfaction. Right? No matter how tough it is. We taught her to get rid of the burden. Let it go. Doesn't mean you have to like them. Just forgive them. Move on. Take it off your body. Take it off your mind. Clear your head. And she did, and she's a completely different human being now. I watched her because of change. I mean, that's an extreme change. But you can have it. Even you got to change anything in your life, you got to make the decision to. Write down, please. To change, I have to decide to change first. Please write that down. You don't mind if I talk about personal stuff like this, do you?
Nope.
Okay.
Makes perfect sense.
Your paper's where?
No, I was just,
Oh, you're looking for paper?
I'm gonna get it.
Okay. You know, a lot of times when businesses ask me to come in and speak to them, and they say, hey, will you talk to my company? And I talk about life, and they go, well, I thought you were going to talk about sales. I said, yeah, well, here's what I found out. When you build the person, you make the person hungry to do better. You make the person hungry to want more. You make the person hungry to believe they can have more. You teach the person they're able to have more. I don't have to teach them nothing. They'll figure it out on their own. Right?
Yes.
When you're hungry, when you have passion, you figure it out on your own. Right? So, change starts in the morning. What are you thinking about? I want to go back one more time, and let's go back to the morning. You woke up just now. Everybody, just wake up. Wake up right now. What are you thinking about? Don't lie.
Traffic on the way to work.
So, guess a new thought. How long do you have to drive?
Half hour.
Dude, I am so happy I got traffic on the way to work. I am so happy I have a half hour on the way to work, because you know what I get to do now? I am going to get audiblebooks.com, and I'm going to listen to 15 minutes or a half hour a day on how to close more sales. And when I get done with that book, I'm going to do a half hour a day on the art of persuasion. I am going to have a master's degree in selling people. By the end of the second year, I'm going to be unstoppable. I'll be the highest paid bill collector. I am so lucky I got that damn half hour. Some people only got 10 minutes, they'll never get time to do this.
True.
It's all perspective, bro.
There you go.
It's all perspective. And I know people hate people like me that says this crap. You know, I used to hate me too.
I don't hate you.
I hated me. I used to want to punch guys right in the mouth. Yeah, you say, well, yeah, it's not your problems. It's the problems how you handle your problems that cause your problems. They're like, get over here. It's like, whack your teeth out. You don't understand my problems, jerk. Till I realize that we all have problems, and it is how we deal with our problems that make our life good or bad, right? Now, the whole thing is that, guys, so I wake up thinking in perspective of, I'm going to make today great. What do I got to do? You know, what am I going to focus on? What am I going to pay attention to? What do I want to accomplish today? What do I want to get out of today? I want to live better today than I did yesterday. Every day I wake up wanting to live better today than yesterday. I make it a point to call my mom or my dad each day. Tell them how much I love them. I make it a point because I never know when I get that chance again. I looked at my 16-year-old daughter the other day. She painted this beautiful oil painting, just gorgeous oil painting. We dropped it off over at my dad, for my dad. Actually, yesterday morning. Lost in time. I don't even know what day this is. This is Wednesday, right? So we dropped it off over there to him, and we're driving away. And he's out in the driveway with my mom. And I looked at her. I said, "You do realize one day we're going to drive away?" I said, "We're getting choked up. They won't be there. One day." They won't be there. That's why I don't waste a moment with that. That's why I wake up thinking, I want to call my mom and dad, I want to hear their voice, because I don't know when I want to hear their voice. Right? I want to wake up and have an amazing day no matter what I got to do. If I got 10 calls, I got amazing 10 calls, not a miserable 10 calls. It's all perspective, man. You know, again, I want to share with you, if you're not happy, you're not passionate about life, what's the point? I know people that are millionaires personally, so does Chris. I can tell you one in general I won't even bring up. Chris is multi-millionaire, miserable human being, no friends, miserable. All he talks about is how great he is.
Blows himself.
Yeah, if he could, he would. He wishes he was a dog. Here's the whole thing. You know why they do that, don't you? Well, they like themselves? Because they can. That's right. Don't lie, guys. I mean, no shit, yeah. That was terrible. What made you make this? So change starts right in the morning. Change starts having a plan. Okay? Change starts waking up thinking. Change starts when you sit down in that chair that you're thinking. What am I going to do different today that I did yesterday to try to get different results? Tracking your results. Tracking, thinking. Which one's working best? And constantly tweaking it to find out new and different ways to do it. What's the highest paid, can we talk about this or not? What's the highest pay we ever had in here ever?
Well, when you were here 2 years ago, Brian was our top person 2 years
It was
ago.
like 60, 65,000, 70. Now it's up to 100,000.
Look at that. So, you know, I don't know if I told you about this guy, Derek Ramirez. He was in, did I tell you about Derek? You remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's still.
He was a helper, came in as a scrap guy in my company. And then it was like to start at the bottom. It's a really nasty job, to be honest with you. And then he went up to an install helper. Then he went to an installer for air conditioning heating. Then he asked if he could be a maintenance tech, and I said sure, because he was really worked hard. And it was thankless jobs he was doing. And he became a maintenance tech, and then he became a service tech. And then he came to me one day and he said, Rick, can I please be a salesman? Because as a service tech, he was excelling past everybody. Selling IQ products and other things. And he came to me constantly, what book should I read? What tape should I listen to? What download should I listen to? What should I do next? Constantly came to me. All he did was chase wisdom and knowledge. He just chased what he was doing for a living. He chased all the things he needed to learn to get great at what he did for a living. He chased it with passion. He chased it like he was going to die if he didn't know it, if he didn't learn it. Chasing it, right? Like it was it. The 10 times rule. You guys know the Cardone 10, right? That same passion, right? He becomes a salesman. I warn him about what could happen becoming a salesman from a technician. Some make it, some don't. And when they don't, it's terrible because they leave and you never see him again. And I didn't want him to leave. I liked him. First year out, he sold $3.2 million of equipment, broke every record in my company, and earned over $300,000 his first year doing that. God's truth. Okay? God's truth. I mean, all of his family combined didn't earn that money together. They were poor. So it was amazing what you could do. He was such a perfect example. When you decide to change, when you decide to be greater, decide to have more, it's there for you, man. But if you're not waking up, deciding to become greater, figuring out what you got to learn to become greater, it's not probably going to happen. I go with the basic stuff about just being happy. If you don't decide to be happy, it's probably not going to happen. How many of y'all wake up in the morning and you got 5 or 6 people dancing around you telling you how awesome and beautiful you are and sexy and hot and woo, you're number one? How often does that happen to you? You might get told you're number one on the way to work, but sign gesture. He thinks I'm number one.
It's all
What a
perspective.
nice guy. Cut people off just so you get number one, right? I get told I'm number one 3-4 times a day. You see it? Right? I don't wake up in the morning and I'm somebody go, oh, Ricky, you're so fine, you're so fine. Okay, I don't get it. It was so, you have to understand, we don't get that, right? So I realized that happiness was not natural. So I think through life. I want to be happy. I decide to be happy. I got to remind myself when I wake up thinking. I got to remind myself I want to be happy every day I'm alive.
Yes.
I have to remind myself. So I wake up and I make the decision. I'm going to have a great day today, man. Nothing's going to stop me. And it doesn't matter what gets thrown at me. Chris and I were just talking about this earlier today too. It doesn't matter what gets thrown at you. You can let it make you miserable or you can be happy. You still got it thrown at you. Your car can get totaled today. You can be miserable or you can be happy and laugh and go, really? Your car's still totaled.
Yes.
Misery or happiness is a choice you make. Being miserable doesn't bring it back, doesn't fix it, doesn't change what happened. It just screws up the rest of your day and many more to come. Right? So, I want to ask you all, I want to challenge you all. What are you doing so that you have change in your sales? What are you doing so that you have change in your income, personal income? What are you doing right now to change what you know, to get better at what you're doing, to achieve the goals or the financial goals you want to hit? And by the way, you guys all do have financial goals, right?
Yes.
Okay? What are you doing to get better at it? What are you learning? What are you listening to? What are you reading? I hate reading, to be honest with you, but I hate what not reading does worse, so I read. But now you got audible.com. Thank you, Jesus. I can tell people I read 4 books last month. I listened to them. It was awesome. Let some other sucker read them to me. Right? So, I'll tell you, you guys, I know I went here, but I gotta beat it up again. It's all part of change. You guys realize there are people out there that have earned 4 or 5 times the money you've earned, that took 30 years, 40 years to figure something out, how to sell better, how to close more, how to persuade more, that you could buy for $12.95 and listen to in 3 hours. And you choose not to do it, you just show up to work hoping the customers are a little nicer today. I want you to logically think that one through for a minute. See, I had to learn something too in life. You're not allowed to bitch about what you permit. If you don't like your paycheck, do something about it. Figure out what your weaknesses are. Figure out what you need to do more of and how to get better at, and what you need to get better at, and do it. Figure it out. Be honest, where are my shortcomings? What do I need? Where's my weaknesses? How can I strengthen them? Go into audible.com, they got a book for every subject, man. I got a book I just finished not too long ago, about 2 months ago. Chris, I guess I referred it to you. I'm sorry about the language of it, I'm not going to say the word, but the name of the book is called Un-F Yourself. That's the name of the book, but it's actually, you know. And it's an amazing book. This guy takes you on this mental journey of why you do what you do and how to break loose and get out of it. Stop the things that are stopping you. Stop the things that are holding you back. I've been listening to stuff for years now. Read tons of books, listen to tons of books. And that book, I got 3 or 4 new things that changed in my life because of that book that I paid $12.99 for. I don't know, just look up. There's only one guy who writes a book with that title, trust me. What is his name? It's an Irish guy. No, he's Nordic, isn't he?
Mark Munson?
No, I got it. I'll show. I got it in my phone. Anyway, look, guys, you have no idea. You know, I was telling the actress, you know, because I was being goofy with her while we're doing some recording, and I said, you know, a lot of people take me not serious. I said I get in trouble once in a while with business associates because they think I'm not serious because I'm always in a good mood. And I said, isn't that funny that someone sees somebody that's happy or in a great mood, they're either on drugs or they're weird. And I'm weird because everybody else is so freaking miserable. You understand? It's the truth. And some people are miserable listening to me right now. Because they want to hear it. But I want to say to you one more time, I really want you to hear this. Please hear this. This is your life. You got one chance. You're going to come in here 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, and you can earn $100,000 a year, or you can earn $30,000 a year. It's really up to you. Y'all get the same amount of phone calls. Y'all get the same people. Y'all get everything the same phone, same business, same phone room, everything. Why does one person make 100 and one make 30? Because they chose to. And if you're making excuses why that's not true, that's why you'll stay where you're at the rest of your life, because you're making excuses. defending your right to be wrong will always keep you right where you're at. Until you start going like this is what's stopping me, instead of like this, it'll never change, because you can't change this. The only thing you can change is this. You. Right? When I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror, I'm looking at the dude that's creating this whole thing. I'm the one creating this whole thing, this whole day, this whole life. I'm not going to point at nobody else. I'm looking at the dude. And I want you to wake up when you look in that mirror and ask yourself, dude, don't say dude to yourself, that might be weird. Hot mama, say it.
That's what I call me.
Mama, what?
That's what I call me, hot mama.
Hot mama? What am I going to do today? What am I going to do different? How am I going to make this life awesome? Have those meetings with yourself. Talk with yourself. Constantly stay in check with yourself. Ask yourself where you're going with this. Where's this going to end up? Where's this going? How would I rate myself on a scale of 1 to 10? You know, I really found out something. Can you write this down for you people in papers? The quality of your life is really determined by the quality of questions you ask yourself daily. Ooh, that went over, didn't I?
Can you repeat that?
The quality of your life is based on the quality of questions you ask yourself daily. See, I was the least likely dude in high school to succeed. No one would have picked me. Wouldn't have happened. Maybe to party, I would have got that one. Maybe to get in trouble, would have got that one. Not to succeed, not to have a great life. There's so many smart guys in my class I thought were smart. Like, I don't know, 20 years later, just realized they didn't figure it out. Once you figure it out, and only you can. I can give you information. I can tell you what you need to do as I am today. These books will tell you what to do. Those audibles will tell you what to do. But then you have to take action. It's up to you then. You got to make a firm decision, man. You got to make a real commitment. I'm done. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. There's only one way to stop drugs. There's only one way to stop alcohol. There's only one way to stop anything that's bad for you. The only way to stop being miserable or crabby or depressed is freaking make a rock solid decision. I'm done. I ain't going back. I'm going forward from here, baby. I'm going to be wicked powerful from here on out. And I'm going to figure out what I got to learn and know to be wicked powerful. Well, does that make it mean it's going to be easy? No. Do you still get kicked in the teeth? Yes. Will people still hurt you and lie to you? Of course. You know why? You're alive. That's how it works. But here's the cool thing about this attitude to win and succeed, to be powerful. It won't it won't do anything for you, but it will do everything better than negative thinking will, so that when you are getting kicked in the teeth, drop to the ground, you jump up and stand up and say, you ain't keeping me there, baby. That's what an attitude does for you. Where if you walk around with a defeated attitude, every time you get knocked down, you walk around your pity party and invite everybody to come. Feel sorry for you. You ever been around these people? I mean, honest to God, you walk up happy and you want to kill yourself after about 5 minutes? I'll just shoot myself for you. Ever been around these people?
Drain your energy.
Yeah. Woo. I mean, I squirm. I look at windows. I'm trying to figure out what's more painful: fall out the 3-story window or sitting here. I've caught myself actually judging that before. So let me share with you. I hated this. You are who you hang around. If you're the smartest friend in your crowd, you better change crowds quick. Because they're going to take you where they are, or keep you where they are. It's a fact. You gotta wake up every morning thinking where you want to go, have goals, have plans, execute a plan every night to how you're going to wake up. Okay? Every day, try something new that you didn't do the day before. Push yourself out of your comfort zone every day you wake up. Do something you weren't willing to do the day before. Track yourself, monitor yourself, and see what works. Find the things that work and work at getting better at them. Constantly feed your mind with new information so you think differently. When you think differently, you talk differently to yourself, and you start behaving and acting, performing differently. Change your information. Right? I know some of you just remember this. Your computer is only as good as what? No. The software that's in it. It's a hunk of junk. It's good software that you need. Yes or no? Larry the cable guy said it best. He said, I realized I bought a $1,200 deck of cards. Right? Your brain is your computer. Every day, who you hang around, what you listen to, what you don't listen to, all determines what software you're putting in that brain, what's programming up there, so that when you press print, what's coming out of you. The stuff that you allow in, the stuff that you put in. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yes.
Look, I'm going to say one more thing to you now. Now we'll let you go. It doesn't matter if you make $20,000 a year, or if you make $200,000 a year. Happiness is a decision. If you think more money will make you happy, don't want to make $100,000 to be happier, because you're doing it for the wrong reason. It won't make you happy. I know you've all heard this before, but I'm telling you from my heart, it does not make you happier. If you're not happy already, it will screw you. I promise you. Because along with money becomes more obligations, more stuff you own, more problems, more things you got to worry about. And if you can't balance your life out at 30,000, you are not going to balance it out at 100 either. In fact, it will get uglier. I just had a guy that actually we almost went in business together 5, 6 years ago. I've never talked to him about my attitude stuff before. And had no idea this was in him even. He won a lottery up in New Jersey, $14 million. Joe and his wife and kids. They won it, and they started doing a bunch of stupid stuff. His little daughter and son. They went up to New Jersey for Thanksgiving, and he bought a lottery ticket at the grocery store at Thanksgiving morning and kept it for a year, never even looked at it. One day found it again, looked it up on the computer, found out he won $14 million. He had it for over a year and had no idea. That's a true story right there. The other side of the true story was he was working in the streets of county, he was construction, had a happy wife, kids, he won the lottery, and about 3 months ago on a piece of property he bought, he hung himself and killed himself. Joe did. My mom and dad were just talking about him the other day. It's like, I just can't believe it, man. And I'm not saying that to depress you, but I'm telling you that money will not make you happy. I've seen it over and over in my life, and he was just another witness to it for me. Right? You gotta be, you want to be happy first. You want to fix yourself now. So don't let money be the reason why you're happy. Don't use that as your excuse. Work on being happy now where you're at, so that when you do make a lot of money, you're gonna really love life. Does that make sense? Yes or no?
Yes.
Want to make more money because you said, hey, you know what? I'm giving this place 40 hours of my life. I want to make 100, not 30. I'm going to figure out how to make 100 and sit here for 40 hours instead of making 30. I'm worth more than that, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I'm worth more than that. I deserve more than that. That's the attitude I want you to have. All right? That's why I want you to have more money. But don't do it for happiness. Get happy first. Fair?
Yes.
Y'all have a great night. It's good seeing you all again.